Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Meet the Alienware 13 R3 OLED. I picked this up used from Steven from Owner Disown. I've always wanted to try one of these laptops, and since they've been discontinued, they can get quite pricey. Amazon, for example, has this for around $2,500, and I believe the base price on the OLED model was around $2,100 if I recall correctly. Inside we have the i7-7700HQ, a GTX 1060 6GB. This is not a max Q. We're running dual channel RAM, two 8GB sticks at 2400 MHz. The cool thing about this laptop is it will natively support 2666 plug and play. The storage inside is a Samsung 256GB NVMe drive. There's another slot in there for an M.2 storage. Right now I'm running a crucial 1TB SATA drive. The network interface card from the factory will either be a 1435 or a 1535 killer. I replaced the 1435 that was installed with an Intel 9260 plug and play. Works like a champ. The battery is a 76 watt hour. Expect about 4 hours unplugged realistically, and the power supply unit that will power this bad boy is 180 watts. The weight of this little 13-inch laptop is quite heavy. It's dense, it's 5.5 pounds. The lid is made of anodized aluminum and the body is magnesium alloy. It's Alienware, it's premium. The I/O on the left features a headphone jack, a microphone jack, and a single USB 3.0. On the rear we have a LAN port, a mini display port, HDMI, a 4-lane Thunderbolt 3, and a proprietary port for the Alienware graphics amplifier external GPU enclosure. And over on the right we have a single USB-C and a single USB 3.0. Now you cannot open this up with one hand. It has this weird magnetic type feel of a clasp, and when you're holding the laptop by the bottom and carrying it around for portability, the actual lid is not slapping around up against the deck. So this is an interesting trade-off, something I've not experienced before, but I respect what they've done here. The touchpad lights up just like the Alienware you have always loved. However, I was surprised that it does use Synaptics drivers on this. It is the best Synaptics version I've used yet. They have nice software in here. I do enjoy it. As a matter of fact, I thought it was Windows Precision, but for the review's sake, I did need to look up and see what was on here, and sure enough, Synaptics. You fooled me there. The keyboard deck is stiff, as it should be on a 13-inch laptop. The deck itself is made of that soft touch material. When gaming, the WASD key location did hit 41 degrees Celsius, and towards the center of your laptop where your hand would not be when gaming does hit 49. When using this laptop on your lap unplugged, the keyboard temperature gets nowhere near that hot, so do not worry. The keys themselves have 2.1 millimeters of travel and they feel and sound great. The power button is located at the top right hand corner of the deck. It's a cute little alien head and it has its own backlit LED. The star of the show is the panel, that OLED panel, 2K, that's right, 1440p, and it is a touchscreen. It's a model from Samsung, part number SDCA029. Post-color calibration was 100% standard RGB, 95% NTSC, and a whopping 97% Adobe RGB. Out of every laptop I have ever owned, this is one of the nicest panels I have ever seen, right up there with the XPS 15, or at least darn close. Dell and Alienware stated that the brightness on this would come in at around 400 nits, and I did find it to be pretty close at 393. The webcam and mic are located, of course, at the top at 720p, and it looks and sounds just like this. The webcam and mic are located at the top of the bezel. They look and sound like this. A little bit of a red hue. The keyboard, however, is very quiet. Have a listen. Not too bad. The laptop overall is very quiet. It's Skyping with this on the receiving end for my clients has been lovely. Now we also get Windows Hello here and Tobii eye tracking. There's a lot of fun gimmicky things you can do with Tobii eye tracking, but one thing I did find unique just from a user experience. When you look away or turn away from your laptop, perhaps you get up and walk away, the screen will automatically dim. When you get back in front of it, it'll pop back to life. That is something you can disable should you wish. Right now I am enjoying it. The proprietary software for your Alienware will start off with the Sound Center. It's just there to enhance your audio experience. We'll keep it simple. Now the Alien Effects software allows for RGB control over 8 locations on your AW13. There's 4 zones on the keyboard. The alien head power button, of course, lights up. The trackpad lights up, which is so fun. The Alienware name below the display. and the alien head on the lid. Now onto the performance of thermals, frame rates, and fan acoustics using the current BIOS 1.5.0. We have an ambient temperature of 71 degrees Fahrenheit. GPU-Z reveals a temperature limit on the 1060 of 92 degrees Celsius. NVIDIA factory spec is 96. The average high temps while gaming on the CPU were between 80 and 90 degrees Celsius, and the GPU between 80 and 85 degrees Celsius. The maximum spike that I ever saw the CPU hit during gaming, which was Battlefield 5, did hit 96 degrees Celsius, and the GPU did hit 90 degrees Celsius. Now all this is done with the fan acoustics averaging around 49 decibels, which is significantly quieter than most gaming laptops, and a peak decibel of 52, and that's something you have to adjust in the BIOS. More on that near the end of the video. Now at this time we have not repasted this machine yet, so I suspect we can get better thermals out of it, but the performance in gaming was actually pretty good. At 1440p high settings in Overwatch we were averaging 87 frames a second. At 1440p high settings once again we were averaging 73 frames per second in Doom. 1440p high settings in Grand Theft Auto 5, average FPS was 67. But when it came to Battlefield 5 at 1440p, we had to turn everything to low. Average FPS was 66. Now during all four of these games, the bottom end never dropped below 51. But when you just want to use your laptop for business, Skype, emails, adult type tasks, the idle acoustics on here are fantastic, coming in at around 29 to 30 decibels. And the audio performance is easily able to overcome the fan acoustics even when gaming. With around 80 decibels, it sounds loud and full. Have a listen for yourself. And last but not least, inside the BIOS, Dell and Alienware have done a little bit more than I would normally see inside of a laptop with these types of specs, but it is still relatively locked down. I do appreciate that we do have CPU and fan performance modes. In performance mode for the CPU, it does allow the CPU to draw more wattage, but I have never found the 7700 HQ in need of that type of thing. The fan, on the other hand, setting that to performance will automatically peak the fan speed, and it will run at 52 decibels. This is nice if you are in a pinch and you need the best thermal performance possible. Just keep in mind, once you do this, in order to get it back to normalcy, you will have to reboot into your BIOS, make the switch back from performance to normal, save, quit, and go back into your operating system. Alright, so I can really appreciate what Dell has done here. This is a very unique laptop, probably one of the most unique gaming laptops made in the last several years. But the more I think about it, I kind of understand why this no longer exists. Our hardware is not only getting faster, but it's starting to lose efficiency, and I feel like this chassis, no way in heck would it be able to manage a 6-core 12-thread chip, let alone anything from RTX. And moving forward, people just want faster and better, and should somebody want a slim 13-inch sample, again, they can use an Ultrabook or something like that. That's where I'm at on it. Now, yes, of course, they could probably put an 8300H in here, and if the 11 series ever goes anywhere, that would go in here as well. But this is still very expensive to make, and I think when people start to compare price to performance ratio, they're probably still going to go ahead and just pass on this. Now, I'm not saying you won't, but I have a feeling the majority will, and if that's the way Dell is thinking about it, then I understand. Alright, hopefully you enjoyed this video. This is a really cool laptop, and this is Bob of All Trades. Peace out.